still getting coffee or a treat, feel free to do that. We want this to be a very homey kind of living room feel. So yeah, very, very glad to have you all here tonight. My name is Nathan White. I serve as the Director of Development for World Relief Chicagoland, and I just have to say I am thrilled to be here with you. I'm an extrovert, so I've got a chance to meet a few of you, and it's already been really good for my soul and just my heart. So thank you. And hopefully for those of you that are also extroverted, you can share in that joy with me. And the introverts, we love you too. Thank you so much for coming out and being in the crowd. It's an important thing that we get to be a part of. But this is the first spotlight event that World Relief has done in person since before the pandemic. So congratulations, you made it. You are making this possible. Thank you. But I wanted to start with a question of why are we here, right? Why did we come tonight? And I won't pretend to know all of the reasons why we're here in the room, but I think I can imagine a few, right? The coffee, the people, the free t-shirts, but those are all fun and probably actually things we didn't publicize, so you didn't know those. So yeah, you're welcome, I guess. Oh, my notes went sideways. Hang on. But I will say there's probably deeper reasons for a lot of us, right? So if you're like me, you want to be a person who bears witness to the stories of people who are valuable and beautiful. And for those of us who are coming from a Christian faith motivation, we believe that all people bear the image of God, and for that reason are worthy of welcome. And for many of the people who have fled Afghanistan over the past year, there are incredible stories to be told, incredible stories to hear, to witness, and there is work that we can do to be a part of continuing to welcome those who have fled. So I'm excited tonight to join with you in hearing stories from Farzana and Nilab as they share with us in a little bit. But I want to share just really briefly about World Relief Chicagoland. Some of you in this room have been connected with World Relief for a longer time than me, for sure. I've been here for a couple of years. But World Relief is older than me, too. Right? Like World Relief has been doing the work of refugee resettlement for over 40 years here in the Chicagoland area. In fact, the very origin of World Relief doing work of refugee resettlement and coming alongside of immigrants started right here in the Chicago suburbs. And now there are over 19 offices across the US that help resettle refugees and immigrants from other locations. So that's just a fun piece of the legacy that we get to play a part of and we get to continue through being connected here at World Relief. Our mission is to empower the local church and community to come alongside of immigrants and refugees in vulnerable situations. And we do this through a simple plan that's threefold. The first step is providing vital services. The needs that refugees, immigrants, and those who came from Afghanistan had are ones that we have expertise and long history of meeting those needs and guiding the community to do that. So providing vital services is the first thing. The second is just extending welcome. It's simple how much saying welcome to someone can change their life and change their perspective. So we are intentional about training and teaching and doing that work of getting people connected to extend welcome. And the third one is just that, actually, getting people connected, right? So over the past 40 plus years, people just like you, many of you even, and people just like me have been able to be a part of extending welcome to over 45,000 immigrant women, men, and children over the past 40 years. This isn't possible just by World Relief staff, right? Like the goal and the desire of World Relief has always been to engage the community through events like tonight, but all the way through helping people with donating a couch, looking at a friend of mine, that's how she got involved, to all sorts of different ways. And it's through connecting with a network of churches, volunteers, community partners, staff, and donors that we get to come alongside of people who need stability so that they can feel safe again, so that they can begin to rebuild their lives here in Chicagoland, in the communities that we share. Over the past 45 years, we have seen people rebuild their lives from learning English to relaunching careers, to buying homes, even starting businesses, starting churches, raising families. And it is something that's incredible. And I think it's when we stop and think about that, 45,000 people, right? Like that's an amazing number of people that we've been able to come alongside of. And that's something that we can be very proud of, right? The work that all of us have got to be a part of or get to become a part of. And it's no small thing to witness the stories that we hear tonight. So before we hear from Farzana and Nilab as they guide us, I'm going to invite up Susan Sperry, who's our Executive Director for World Relief Chicagoland, to come and share a little bit more about the context of tonight, a spotlight on Afghanistan, what happened a year ago and what's been happening since through World Relief. So please welcome Susan Sperry to the front.
Hi, everyone. Thank you again so much for being here. Nathan, love the raffle. I didn't win. I'm a little bummed about that, but really, really thankful that all of you are here tonight, whether you're new to the World Relief community or whether you've been partnering and journeying with us for a long time. Glad you're here and very glad to be back after feels like almost 3 years of not having events quite like this. So I want to share just a little bit of background and context about what's taken place over the last year. Tonight, of course, we're looking back at the perseverance and the resilience of many, many people who have reached the US from Afghanistan. When Kabul fell in August of 2021, this led to many people fleeing the country. And in fact, since August of 2021, just for the 5 months until the end of 2021, over 777,000 people left Afghanistan. And about 10% of them reached the United States through the evacuation that the US led. Once they arrived to the United States, they were sent to basically camps, to military bases, to wait and to be processed before reaching their final destination. All right, Sasha says I'm holding it a little too far down. Higher? All right, I'm getting thumbs up, thank you. I have lots of people looking out for us in the back. It was then at that point, once people had been processed, that World Relief Chicagoland and so many of our community members and churches and partners were able to begin welcoming Afghans here. And we saw many individuals respond through donations, through volunteering, through incredible generosity during that season. Together, we were able to welcome into the Chicagoland area over 500 Afghans through World Relief. And we've been partnering with them and working together to help them find housing, get jobs, learn English, helping children go to school and catch up to their classmates and so much more. And the perseverance in taking these small daily steps to rebuild their lives that we've seen in our Afghan friends and neighbors is a tremendous testimony to the power of hope and the power of courage. And we can take part in helping to make hope, even hope that comes amidst incredible tragedy. We can help make that hope a reality. And I want to share just one way that we can step up in a new way tonight and in the coming weeks and months to help make hope a reality for our Afghan neighbors. Many of the Afghans who arrived here from over the last year have come as refugees or special immigrant visa holders. And they have a pathway to be able to permanently stay in the US because of the status they came through. But many, in fact, the vast majority of people who evacuated from Afghanistan came here and were granted humanitarian parole. And that means they have temporary permission to stay in the US for 2 years. 2 years. It doesn't provide pathways for them to stay here beyond that. And so what many Afghans are currently in the midst of is pursuing an application for asylum in the US. And if you know a little bit about the asylum process, you know that it's lengthy and very complex, and currently is taking a long time, up to and at least 4 years. So there's a bill proposed in Congress called the Afghan Adjustment Act. And this would allow Afghans to be able to adjust their status or pursue a green card just like refugees do. And the US has historically done something like the Afghan Adjustment Act for Cubans, for Iraqis, for Southeast Asians in the past. So this isn't anything new for the US. But it's something that would be a tremendous blessing for Afghans who are still not fully in a place of being able to root and know that they can stay here permanently. So tonight we'll share a little more information at the end of the evening. We'd love you to leave and just learn a little bit about that act, and we want to invite you to join us in asking our federal officials to pass this important bill. And so you've heard from me long enough. I want, without further ado, to introduce our guests this evening, and I'm very excited to hear with you and learn with you their stories from Farzana Mohammadi and Nilab Malik. Welcome and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Susan. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nilab Malik, as Susan said. I am a refugee case manager at World Relief. I've been working at World Relief since October, so almost a year. Actually, it is a year. I came as a refugee myself and my family back in 2001. So when I came to this country, just a little bit about myself and my family and how I got here. I didn't know any English, no language, no culture. So it was really hard to adjust, as we all know that when you go to a different country, a new country, to get to know your surroundings, to get to know the language, the people, your way into the culture, and it takes some time, and you face many difficulties along the way. So, and to further get to know a little bit more about how a person going to a different country can adjust, we have Farzana Jan here with us tonight to share her story. Farzana Jan, could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Good evening, everybody. My name is Farzana Mohammadi, and thanks a lot to I can giving a chance to I can share my story tonight.
Thank you for being here, Farzana Jan. So, Farzana Jan, as you look back for the last year since the fall of Kabul, could you tell us a little bit about your life in Afghanistan before coming here, and what should we know about your home country, and what do you love about your country?
I never think one day I left my country, because before the Taliban occupied Afghanistan, it was always good, and I put to my practice the wheelchair basketball. It was really good, and also my work. Yes, it was really good, and I never think one day all Afghanistan pupils go back in 20 years ago. It's really difficult for all Afghanistan.
Yeah, indeed, that is. And what is one good thing about Afghans, food-wise? What do they like the most? You know? Kabuli palau.
Oh yeah, Kabuli palau.
Yeah, as Afghans, we love to cook and we love to feed people. So Farzana Jan, can you tell us a little bit about your family and what do you guys like to do together?
When I was in my country with my family, we make a lot of fun, especially in the New Year, like the Ramadan. We go to another place for a picnic, and my aunt's homes. It was really good. Yeah, I never forgot that, and I hope I can make fun with my family in here.
You will, inshallah, one
Thank
day.
you.
And could you tell us how many siblings do you have?
Yeah, I have 3 sisters and I have 1 brother.
Awesome, and your brother
Thank
is
you.
probably getting all the attention.
Thank you.
That's the Afghan culture. They love their boys and they get all the attention. Can you tell us a little bit about basketball? What led you to participating as a Paralympian of the Afghan women team?
Basketball. Basketball is my favorite play. I love the basketball. I remember when I was 6 years old, I heard about the wheelchair basketball. I never think I can one day I can to join the national team in the wheelchair basketball. The manager from the ICRC told me, "Hey, Farzana, do you like it to join it with the basketball?" I say, "Oh, basketball? I can because basketball need running. It's difficult for me." And she told me, "No, it's like wheelchair basketball. You can do this." My mom told me, "Farzana, we believe you. You can do this." And yes, I like to. I told to my moms, I like to one time to go and see the basketballs because it's really new for me to the wheelchair basketballs in Afghanistan. And yeah, but after that I joined it and I love the basketballs. Maybe and the 2060 we joined the Paralympic wheelchair basketball, and we make it the national teams. My coaches, national coaches, Jace Mark, he's from the US. He support the teams and training my teams. And we had a lot of trip out from my country, like Thailand. Yeah, it was really good.
Well, I wish I knew back then so I could take the trips
Thank
with
you.
you.
I hope.
Farzana Jan, would you share with us about what happened just over a year ago when you were forced to flee your home?
When I left my country, it was difficult for me because this is my first time I left my country without my family. It was really difficult for me. I never forgot that days because I'm alone. I didn't understand and nothing from here. And yes, when I left Afghanistan, I come to the Qatar for 6 days. After that, I traveled to Bahrain. But after the Bahrain, maybe one day, yes, I came into US and stayed for 3 months in the camp, the Fort McCoy camp. After 3 months, I come into Chicago in Aurora. And it was really difficult for me because I didn't understand about the language, English. It's really hard. And also, when I go to the app, if I needed something, I didn't understand how can I say I needed something? Maybe the tea, like that, like food. It's really difficult for me. But now it's really good, and I understand.
That's amazing. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, thank you.
Could you please tell us a little bit about how was the life in the camp that you were living before coming here?
The camp, this is really, it was really hard because I never think one day I live with 8 family in the camps. It have a noise, I can't sleep at night. Yeah, it's really difficult.
Well, I'm glad that you made it safe and sound here. As you were leaving your home, Farzana Jan, what kind of thoughts and emotions were going through your mind? پیش از اینکه ایلا بدی افغانستان چه قسم احساسات داشتی؟
It was really hard because I left my country, I left my parents. It is really difficult. When I think about that, I say, oh, how I can do this? How I can come in here? How I can live alone in here?
I remember when I was first told about Farzana Jan, that she's coming here, and I was her case manager. The first time when I met her, from the moment I talked to her, I knew that she'll go far. She is a very brave girl. and she has proven me right. When you first arrived in the US, Farzana Jan, what was your life like? وقتی که دیگه آمدی زندگی چه قسم بوده اولا؟
The first time is difficult, I say, because I didn't understand nothing in here. But I told to myself, oh, Farzana, it's not good. You say I can do this, you can do nothing in here, but it's a need to support yourself. And after that, I tried to understand the English about a lot of things.
And how was learning English for you?
Wordly was helping with me so I can take the English class. If I can speak English like this, this is the help from the Wordly.
Yay. When I came as a refugee, Cord Leaf has helped me and my family tremendously as well. So I can definitely relate to that. I know you already answered a little bit of this. So in what other areas has Word Leaf helped you out?
Word Leaf helped with, I cannot say only the English. The Word Leaf helped with me for everything, for every years. Like the first one is the English class. After that, they helped with me to I can find my basketball teams, and I joined the basketball in the Chicago Skyhawks, and also I can find really nice apartments, and also yes about the, and now I try to continue and join at the college, and Word Leaf always support with me and always help with me, and thanks a lot, and it's really good, and I'm glad I can find a chance to I can say thanks a lot the Word Leaf to they all help me for everywhere.
Well, I'm glad that you're being supported. We're happy to have you and help you out in any way we can. How did your Wordly volunteer came alongside you? And what things have you and your volunteer done together? رضاکارات چه قسم کمک ها کرده شما را؟ اریتان چه قسم یک جای کار میکنین؟
Volunteers always help with me. Yes, for everything. It's like I remember when I coming new in the US, I didn't know anything, and the volunteers will help me. And yes,
I just would like to say thank you to all our volunteers. They're doing a great job. We can please give them a round of applause for that. Thank you. She has her volunteer here with her, so she would like to personally thank her volunteer for all he or she has done.
Yes, I can say she is my volunteer. She's now my friends, dear with me, and thanks a lot. She's always helped with me, and she's always support me, and she's always told me, "Oh, Farzana, I'm proud of you because you can do everything." Thanks a lot, dear with me.
So, Farzana Jan, what are some of your hopes for life in the US? چه قسم امید زندگی در امریکا داری خودت؟
Okay, and the first one, I hope I can visit my family, and I can graduate from my school, and I can make a good life for myself in here.
مستقل یعنی بخوای خودت باشی to be committed and do everything myself. I do everything myself.
I can do everything myself. Thank you.
You're doing great. What is one thing you want the people in this room to know about the importance of word relief? یکی از چیزایی چی است که خود میخوایی تمام مردمان دیگه بفهمن درباره بودن ورد لیف که چقدر ضروری است.
Okay, world relief is a really important. I understand now because when the refugees are coming there everywhere in the US, world relief is really important because this is like me. When I come in the US, I didn't know anything, but now I understand why because the world relief helped with me. And I understand the world relief is really, really important for everybody. They are coming in the US. Yes, because the world relief help with everywhere. Nothing especially like the English class like that. For everywhere.
That's true. So again, back then I remember when I was resettled by World Relief, our case manager name was Scott, and he was amazing. He helped us with everything and anything. And when I didn't know how to communicate back then, when I didn't know any English, my means of communications were drawing on the piece of paper and asking for that thing. So yeah, World Relief is amazing. To close, Farzana Jan, can you share one thing you want people to know, to take away from your story tonight?
I want to know that all girls have like disabilities, maybe have any problems, and they think we cannot anything. And I want to tell the all girls and women we can everything. It's a need to believe yourself.
Thank you, Farzana Jan. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing your story with us. And I wish you all the best. From the moment I saw you, I knew you would do great. You would do wonder. I've always talked about my other clients about you.
Thank you so much.
It was amazing to serve you as a case manager.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ooh, sorry. Thank you so much, Farzana and Nilab. I remember when I first heard Farzana's story. It was actually on the news. It was about a year ago when she was staying at Fort McCoy. So I saw her on the TV. And then over the process of getting ready for tonight, I've gotten to hear more about Farzana's story, and lots of staff people at World Relief have told me amazing things about her. But what I'm struck by tonight is getting to hear her story afresh and still being just in awe of the hope and the perseverance that she has. And I'm really touched by that opportunity we've had tonight to hear that story. If it's for your first time, the first time. But for those of us who have heard it before, to hear it again, but it's still new. It still matters and means something. So I hope that Farzana's story and Nilab's story as well are stories that can stick with you. Stories that can root in your hearts and change you. So we saw a lot of hope reflected in Farzana and Nilab tonight, and hope that we get to participate in as well. So listening to these stories isn't the end of that for us tonight. These are stories that we get to take home with us. One of my favorite things about working at World Relief is getting to collect these stories of hope and of perseverance, and then get to share them with others, to get to tell other people. And Farzana and Nilab gave us that gift tonight. They shared their stories with us, and now we take them home and we let them change us. And Farzana is truly living out a story of rebuilding hope. She's clinging to that hope and rebuilding it as she rebuilds her life here. She's living out a story of hope. And so that's something that we get to do as well. The stories that we live in, the stories that we tell, are the stories that we then live out. And so Farzana is giving us an opportunity tonight to live out a story of building welcoming communities. In light of hearing Farzana's story of perseverance and resilience amidst tragedy and a lot of suffering. And in knowing that you are people who value building welcoming communities, you value being informed about what's happening in our community, what's happening with your neighbors. We want to invite you to give financially. You can do that tonight all around the room. There's little cards that you can take home with you. It has Farzana's picture on it so that you can remember her and remember the stories that you've heard tonight. And on that card is a QR code and information about our website if you want to give. You can also give via check, and afterwards there'll be someone at the table to take a check. We would love to talk more with you if you're interested in giving and want to know more about the work of World Relief. There's a lot of us staff in the room that would love to get connected with you and share more and come back to Treadwell here and grab coffee with you or meet with you at some point. And so we're so thankful for partners at World Relief. Susan and Nathan both mentioned it, and even as Farzana and Elab shared, they talked about volunteers and staff and all these different people that have contributed to the story that Farzana gets to tell. So now we've become kind of knit together into Farzana's story as well. We've gotten to receive it and to now go out with it. And so when you partner with World Relief through a year-end gift, through becoming a monthly partner, whatever it may be, that means that more Afghans like Farzana will have the support and provision that they need to thrive. When you partner with World Relief, that helps extend the work that we're doing. So for example, it helps further the work of our Afghan women's group, which is helping Afghan women right here in our neighborhoods flourish. It helps extend the work of helping find career pathways and job opportunities for Afghans as they adjust to life in the US through their work life. Without your partnership, our neighbors face many of the barriers that Farzana described without support. But with your partnership, we see our Afghan neighbors thriving through the support that we're able to give them and through their courage and perseverance as well. So I'm so thankful for the chance to even just hear a little glimpse of Farzana's story and to know that there's so much more to it as well. And so thank you all for being here tonight for just a brief time. And thank you so much for your partnership. And thank you again to Farzana and Milab for sharing. Your story means so much. And we want to continue at World Relief to tell stories of rebuilding hope right here in our community. So thank you all for being here. We'll hang around a little bit. Feel free to stop by the table, grab a shirt, a t-shirt. I think Nathan said they're magical. I need to let you know that he straight up lied. There is no magic in those shirts, but they are very bright blue and they are great representations of our community. So, but yeah, we'd love to chat more and we'll hang around here for a little bit. But thank you guys so much for being here and peace to you all.